Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
You are listening to Candid Talks with Bharat V.
There's only one place where we can truly be ourselves. In this place, there's no way back.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Candid Talks with Bharat V. This is Bharat Vatsa, your host. In previous episode, we were speaking with Dr. Neharika Yadav. Dr. N is fondly called by her friends the Indian Wonder Woman, who survived a near fatal car crash, overcame that phase of her life, got hooked to racing, and became India's fastest female superbike track racer. Today, in our continued conversation with her, we will learn more facts about her life. Please do listen to the episode till the end. Before we begin, please do not forget to subscribe to this podcast channel, and you can connect with me on my Facebook page at Candid Talks with Bharat V.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Neharika Yadav. I am a bike racer and a dental surgeon. और आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं on Candid Talks with Bharat V.
तो चलिए बातों का सिलसिला शुरू करते हैं. Let's welcome India's fastest female superbike track racer, Dr. Neharika Yadav.
This is us. This is who we are.
And I feel like, with what I went through, with my right hand being a challenge, God actually has pushed me in both my profession and my passion where the right hand is required the most. As a dentist and as a racer, where the throttle is on the right hand, as a dentist, you're using a right hand. So I feel like it's absolutely fine. Whatever you go through in life, you will find a way or a loophole to get around that problem, as long as you have the belief and confidence that, it's not impacting you. So that's the inspiration I give to people around my experiences.
So when exactly did this accident happen, and how did this happen?
This happened in 2005.
Okay.
I was going to my college, and I was in a call center cab because I missed my college bus.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy was driving very fast, as I always say in all my talks. He was driving fast. He was drunk, and there was a truck coming on the other side.
This guy was drunk as well.
Please don't drink and drive.
I think he was drunk because he was looking a little groggy, and I was sitting in front, so I kept looking at him, and I was like, he was driving very fast, and he started driving slow. Then he would again start zipping past. And the problem is, we were in a Tata Sumo. It did not have any seat belts. As in the seat belts were damaged or broken or whatever. There was no seat belts. Nobody was in seat belts, and it was a very rattly car. But back in the days, of course, we were trying to save money as students, and so it's like, bhaiya 20 rupees mein le jao and stuff. So I'm like, theek hai. Now when I went on to that, this guy went, there's a truck coming. He takes the car to the extreme right on the opposite lane.
Oh.
And that's it. I still remember, the only thing I could see is suddenly we see the truck in front, and there's a huge sound, And the next thing we know, the car spins and is in the opposite direction. So the entire dashboard was into my chest, literally.
Oh.
And my right hand was, the bone was broken. The bone was jutting out a bit because the impact was so bad. He was lying on the steering wheel in a pool of blood. We were all in a pool of blood because the glass pieces were all in our head.
Mm-hmm.
So then
and you were sitting in front.
I was sitting in front. I survived, but the driver died.
Oh.
And the guy at the back also. Yeah. So two people. The other guy also, he hit his head because of the impact to the side that the car hit.
Yeah. Okay.
But I feel like I survived because of a bag full of books, because I had an exam the very next morning. So I think that's what saved me, because I didn't go out of the windscreen. Plus the bag and the dashboard didn't come crushing completely because the bag kind of stopped it in the way.
Okay.
And that also helped me stay in place.
Okay.
So those were things. Yeah. But this was a huge impact on my hand. I had 40 stitches all over my forehead. My hair was, in fact, shaved off. Almost half my hair was shaved off to give me the stitches.
Oh.
My eyebrows were shaved off. So it was just not a good sight to look at yourself in that state, You've gone through an accident where your right hand is, is being plated because the bone is completely damaged and out. Your entire head is shaved off, your eyebrows are shaved off. So for me to see myself in that state was in itself a very depressive state,
Yeah.
But I came back strong.
And I think, definitely. And I think you had undergone 3 major surgeries to come out of that.
Yes.
So
3 surgeries because the first surgery was for the plating. Then the movement didn't come back. We went for a second surgery. That surgery was not successful at all. In fact, in that surgery, they went and cut off one of my important nerves.
Oh.
So I, in fact, don't have much sensation in half of my, my wrist and area and all. I don't have much sensation.
Okay.
So that was the second the surgery. And then the third surgery was, of course, a success with just 50% movement, which was by one of the hand surgeons in Pune. And doc very clearly told my father, he said, don't waste time. I'm telling you right now, she will only get back 50% movement. If you want 100% movement, it's not possible. So, and at that point, of course, we were like, okay, anything better than nothing, So we went ahead with that. And that was a success but even that was a success after very, very painful sessions of physiotherapy, where with a lot of force, they would have to use a lot of force to bring the joint back into movement and stuff.
Okay.
So that was I think the physiotherapy was more traumatic for me than anything else, not even the accident as much.
And you said this surgery was done in Pune?
Yeah.
Okay. So
he was one of the top hand surgeons in India.
Okay. So tell me something, when you decided to do the track racing, with 50% movement left in your hand, what was your family's reaction?
I just feel like, the whole experience of the accident was traumatic, not only for me, but even for my family who saw me struggle. And, so my family also went through, I would say, a hard time with me, watching me struggle. And the multiple surgeries also, them looking at me, the way I came out of the surgeries, the way I, dealt with my life. So somewhere when I was getting into, track riding, they didn't really, they never really had an issue or anything. But of course, it was the first time when my mother came to see me race.
Okay.
My father was always supportive because he's been a rally racer himself,
Oh, is it?
And a fighter. He's been a rally racer himself. He's been a fighter pilot. He's in fact now a commercial pilot with Indigo.
Okay.
He's also a trainer, so he trains pilots. So, with his kind of background, I think somewhere they were probably prepared that, one of our kids is going to go down that line, So it didn't come as a shock or a surprise. Yeah. But my mom was very scared.
Okay.
When she came for the first time to watch me race, she started crying and, she said, you're never going to do this again. And this is too scary. And why are you putting your life at risk? And, So those things were there, of course, but she still supports me. She's scared and, she's very scared. She, in fact, always tells me I'll not come for your race because, I get very nervous. But she lands up there and, my mom is Christian. So she's always there with her rosary, So she carries the rosary. In fact, in a lot of my videos, you'll watch her blessing me with the rosary and, so she's doing all of those things, yeah. But she supports me. My family really supports me, yeah.
Amazing. So how do you keep balance between both your profession as well as passion, Neharika? Because as you said, both needs right hand, agreed, and both will need a substantial amount of time as well, right? So how do you balance out both?
In terms of track presence, it's only before the races that it becomes a slight struggle because I have to, be driving to Booth Circuit for our practice sessions, scrutiny, all those things. And then I have to be, again, driving back to manage my clinic. So those kind of things on a regular basis, it's not a challenge because, to be honest, my clinic takes, precedence over my bike racing.
Okay.
It's only during my races. It's only before my races that I would say maybe 2-3 months before my race that it becomes that I have to juggle between the two and be managing, which becomes difficult. But otherwise, I just feel like when you have such a beautiful passion, it really helps you, in fact, with your profession to come back to your profession, to give it your best. To come back rejuvenated, to come back feeling fresh, to feel more positive. So I think in a way, managing both for me is my strength. And even my patients, I mean, you should see, because my waiting room in my clinic, I have some of my articles up. So when patients come in and they see all those articles and they see that, I'm racing, they are all so motivated. And during my races, when my patients call up for appointments, I'll say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm a little caught up with my race." They're like, "Don't worry, doc. Don't worry. Please focus on your race. All the best. In fact, send us some tickets. Like send us some passes. We want some passes for the race." So you won't believe it. Last time, even on the grandstand, there were I think maybe half the people were my patients.
Wow. So
Yeah.
tell me, did you ever try to convince any of your patients to take up riding or racing?
I have never convinced anybody to take it up, but I have a lot of people who come to me. In fact, a lot of people who are interested in racing and stuff, they reach my clinic to ask me questions.
Okay.
So I have to literally keep extra time for my patients because I know they're going to have questions not just related to their teeth, but also related to my story and my journey, So,
so did it also happen ever that, any non-patient also came to your clinic asking for the advice towards it?
Trust me, it happens all the time. I cannot tell you the number of x-rays that have no findings. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm literally like, I'm so sorry, but dard ho raha hai, and x-ray is clear, and I'm like, what is this supposed to be,
Okay.
So it has happened, and then they're like, okay, maybe kuch phas gaya hoga, So
That's nice. तो आप बाहर एक बोर्ड लगा दो, consultation for racing, इतने बजे से इतने बजे तक consultation time, और consultation time for actual dental issues, इतने बजे से इतने बजे तक.
I think I need to do that. Trust me, because most dentists will keep a consultation session of say 15 minutes max, 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
I keep 30 minutes slots in my clinic because patients love talking to me, So I've seen that with my patients. They love talking to me, about my racing or my biking, and then they'll ask me, especially I've seen the women. The women are all motivated and asking questions. आप कैसे करते हो? आप clinic कैसे चलाते हो? आप racing कैसे करते हो? आप दोनों कैसे करते हो? So it's good. It's good to inspire people and push people to live dreams.
Right. So few tips that you want to give to our listeners who are racing aspirants who will be listening to us. How do you manage the turns? How you do the body shift while the turns, and how do you need to keep the bike in balance and applying the brakes, etc., whatever. So if you may want to give some tips on that.
When it comes to the technical aspects of riding, I think anybody who's aspiring to ride, of course, has to, there are two ways. Like I have not undergone any professional training. Whatever I have learned is, over a period of time, watching other guys, being guided by people around me. And of course, I would say, first-hand experience of being on track and, exploring it myself. So it's not like I got onto track after practicing. Getting trained under any training academy or school or anybody.
Right.
So I feel like anybody who's aspiring to race is already very charged and motivated.
Yeah.
All they need to do is, of course, be there at the track with a bike that can really help you maneuver around the track. So there are a lot of bikes out there. We can definitely guide you. I started off with a KTM RC390. I would definitely say that if you're starting off, that's a good bike. If you're somebody who's already used to a 600cc or already on a super bike, then great. Bring your bike to the track. Get your proper leathers. And once you come there, you get support and guidance from all the racers there. Whatever questions you have, you can be on track with us. So, and once you come in, with experience, with everything you learn, there are a lot of training academies also. There's Apex Racing, there are other racing schools. So you can always get those details online. Go get some experience from them. The California Superbike School, which happens every year. You can be a part of those schools also. Polish your skills and rest. Once you're on track with experience, with practical experience, that's the only way for you to learn. So that's the kind of tip that I would say. In terms of how to corner and stuff, see, as I told you, these are very technical aspects which you learn when you are in the game.
Obviously.
So
yeah. So apart from racing, Dr. Neharika, have you ever also been riding a bike as a tourer? maybe on a long rides, like every biker, every bike enthusiast, उनका सबसे पहला वही होता है कि हाँ हमें तो एक लेह लद्दाख करना है, you know, the very first dream ride. तो आपका भी ऐसा
Yeah.
कुछ हुआ है dream ride? Whether have you ever done any such kind of a ride, long ride, you know?
I, very sparingly ride on the road, as I said. But I have done a few rides with Gods, which is the group
Okay,
of Delhi
yeah.
Superbikers.
Yeah.
So I've gone out with Gods, of course, on a Sunday morning breakfast ride.
Okay.
So we've done that, which was an excellent experience. I took a Monster 821, which is a beautiful bike, the Ducati Monster 821.
Yeah.
So that was good. I also have done 2 rides with Ducati, which have been the Royal Rajasthan ride.
Okay.
So there we were covering Rajasthan on wheels.
Okay.
We did a bit of off-roading. We went on, beautiful roads, exploring the culture of Rajasthan. So I think, so I've done stuff like that, of course.
Okay.
I haven't gone towards Leh Ladakh side. I'm sure that I would love to do that also. But as I told you, I find road riding very stressful.
Right.
A reason being, I just feel like, you cannot really throttle it out. You're always scared
Yeah.
that somebody will, run across the road. You have to keep, and
Yeah.
I am a very, very responsible rider. So if I'm on the road, I would not be riding fast.
Yeah.
I would take care of people around me. I would do all those things. So, and I'm somebody who's, driven by speed. So if I'm on road and if I'm not really, throttling it out, I would not really enjoy myself as much.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
I would prefer to go to the track and explore that aspect,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've done a few rides, but that's not really my style of riding, or I don't really enjoy it as much as I prefer to, pick up my car and drive all the way to Budh Circuit in Greater Noida from Gurgaon. So yeah, that's what I would
do
say.
you own a car or a truck where you can load your bike as well?
I own a SUV, but my bike is parked at Budh Circuit since I
Okay.
don't have a trailer.
Okay.
And if I ever need a trailer, then of course I go to the guys and I go like, can somebody please help me? Help. Yeah, that much of help I get.
हाँ, उतना
So,
फायदा
yeah.
तो मिलना चाहिए ना, being a female rider.
उतना तो बनता है.
उतना बनता है, right?
Yeah.
Sahi.
Please help.
So Neharika,
Yeah.
any of your memorable moment in life, both on and off the track, ऐसा कुछ job, you always remember and like to talk about?
My memorable moment on track would definitely be my parents coming to watch me race, my family,
Yeah.
my parents, my sister. For you to have your family with you, supporting you on your journey, in your dreams, on your, with your passion, I think there's nothing more special. And I still remember my father was standing on the grid with me, and this was the first time he was watching me race, and I could see tears rolling down his, his cheeks. Because
Right.
somewhere, I think just before we were about to, get out, start the race, when, they allow people to stand with you, your family,
Okay.
your friends,
Yeah.
or close people, yeah. So when they were standing, my father didn't show it to me, but I could see that his eyes were moist and,
Okay.
So I like somewhere he was so proud of his daughter standing there
Yeah.
on the grid. So I think for me, that moment was very special of having my father there and as my, and happy to see his daughter just push herself and live her dreams and be supporting her, and so that was a very special moment for me. And off track in terms of the pit lane, I already told you. Koi
Yeah,
ladki bhi
yeah,
race
yeah,
kar rahi thi,
yeah,
So
yeah,
that was a funny but a very special experience to to learn that yes, there were people out there who didn't know that under the helmet, or out of those 40
Yeah.
helmets, under one of
Yeah.
those helmets there was a pony sticking out. So
तो
yeah.
एक सवाल मेरे दिमाग में घूम रहा है कि शुरुआत तो आपने बाइक कभी तो सीखी होगी चलाने, राइट? जैसे आपने बताया कि शुरू में यू ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू जस्ट राइड अ बाइक, कैजुअली आपने शुरू करा था. सो हाउ एक्चुअली एंड वेयर डिड यू स्टार्ट राइडिंग द बाइक? ड्यूरिंग मे बी वन
I get that question. Yeah. I my cousins actually, in fact in Gurgaon only.
Okay.
One of them had like this CBZ, back in the days, that used to be like this spoon bike.
Yeah.
So I used to really like that bike, and somewhere now you can understand why I was into bikes even as a young girl.
Yeah.
So though we would go, sitting on the tank, hota na, ki bhaiya ke saath ja rahe hain and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I would always have my hands, in front near the throttle, literally, because I would always feel like I'd feel so free and I'd feel so, like powerful being, even sitting on the in front, with my cousin and then slowly, whenever we would come on holidays here, धीरे-धीरे करके ना cousin की bike लेके निकल जाते थे. In fact, my sister and me we used to take the bike. एक दो बार गिरा भी दी, फिर चुपचाप से उठाई, फिर लेके, so that's how I, of course, I would go all wrong with the gears and stuff, but that's how I learned how to ride a bike. So at a very, very young age, I was a girl who was, who knew how to ride a bike. Because I didn't have that fear of getting onto a bike and learning it at such a young age.
Yeah.
So that was my experience of knowing how to ride a bike. And before the track, as I told you, the motocross, riding the Honda CRF 150, that really changed the game for me. That really changed the game, yeah. Because when you can ride on a dirt track or off-road, then of course track becomes slightly easier. Because
सारा fear निकल गया होगा नहीं motocross में?
Fear भी निकल जाता है. Plus you learn how to steer the bike. You learn how to stay on the bike. So that of course it came from there.
Awesome. So Dr. Neharika Yadav, what does this name mean to you? I mean, how would you define it?
How did I find it?
How will you define it? So according to
define
you,
it. I see my parents found it.
No.
Much sooner, yeah. How will you define
So how will you define this name? Or rather, let me ask you, who is Neharika Yadav?
Neharika Yadav is a girl who since a child has always believed in herself. So she's been a girl who, has always lived a life fulfilling her dreams, who has always lived life, knowing that no matter what challenge, she'll always get out of it with flying colors, who's never been scared of failures, who has always learned from failures, and who has always found that in her life, her challenges are what have helped her become the woman she is today. So that's what she is. And she is a woman who wants to inspire and motivate as many people as she can on this journey in life. So people can say that, yes, this is one woman whose life we look at and we say, we want to be like her. We want to be the best version of ourselves, but we want to find or pull that motivation from her life or her belief in herself. That's what I would say. And I'm a very adventurous person, who's out and about running a private clinic. In fact, even before I opened my clinic, people would always ask me that why am I opening a clinic on a road where there were already 5 dental clinics? And I was very confident that wasn't something I liked the location, I liked the place. I saw a good footfall in that area and I said, okay, let's go ahead. So I've never gone, I've always gone by my gut instinct. I've lived my life on that instinct. And I would say I'm God's child. I've always been blessed with whatever dreams I've had. So luckily, yeah. So that's Dr. Neharika Yadav for you.
Amazing. Where exactly is your clinic, by the way?
My clinic is in Sector 56 in Gurgaon. Okay,
all the listeners, please make a note of that.
Oh, no.
And make sure that you at least go and do a, X-ray even if you don't have any issues.
Please come, Please come if you really have dental issues.
Okay. So what is your first love, Neharika? Whether is it dentistry or racing? Because I heard you saying dentistry obviously takes precedence over the racing.
Yeah. No, see, what I would say is, if you talk about my first love, dentistry was my first love, even in a very literal sense.
Okay.
Because that's what I started, in my love for this profession and this stream started in 2004.
Okay.
So of course, if you ask me, dentistry has always been a passion for me. I've always loved practicing as a dentist. Even the challenges that I faced as a dentist have really helped me to become a better dentist. The failures have taught me how to work on overcoming those challenges, how on working on providing the best dental care to patients. So that is definitely something which I live every single day, morning and evening.
Right.
And as I said, biking is my passion, and I'm always very clear about one thing, that my profession is dentistry, and biking is my passion, or racing is my passion. It is something I do for myself. It is something that I do not to drive in any money. I do, I practice as a dentist, of course, to support myself financially, to support myself in living a fulfilled life, of course.
And
But
even for your passion.
Yeah, that is also my passion. That is also my passion, But the way biking also helps me to come back to giving this profession my best. I don't feel a single day of mundaneness in my clinic because it's already my passion, of course. But there are days, because we are confined to a single room. People step into that room every single day. You're treating patients, and it is a very high pressure job. Because people come with different issues, and there are different natured patients who come in with different ways of tackling. You have to tackle everybody. There are a lot of questions. So every single day, you have to be very patient with your patients and handling them, in treating them. So which can take a toll on you, which can become very stressful after a certain point. So for me to get out of that chamber and really, press the reset button in my head and then come back to again get into that loop is what racing does for me, or biking does for me.
Yeah.
So
Neharika, I mean, just tell me, typically जैसे हम लोग I am into IT by the way, and जैसे हम लोग काम करते हैं बीच में ब्रेक वगैरह लेते हैं. Being a doctor while you are at your clinic, I mean, forget that आपने break लिया, ठीक है, once in a week you went to do the racing and you came out of that boredom, and then you are able to come back and give the best. But while you are in the clinic, ऐसे आप breaks ले पाते हो while the clinic is full of the patients, and in between continuously multiple surgeries may be happening, and then in between कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि आपको बोलना पड़ा कि भाई patients को please give me some time, I need a break before I see the next patient and do the surgery?
Very honestly, I am so passionate about dentistry and I work like a horse, because in fact my dental assistants sometimes ask for a break in between. And so for me, honestly, I don't need a break when I'm working.
So do you take Red Bull, by the way?
Well, when I'm there, I don't need wings. So yeah, on track maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I honestly, I just feel like, because we start practice in the morning at 10:30, we wind up by 1:30. Then I already get a break in the afternoon, because I'm then back in clinic at 4:30, and then I'm working till at least 8:30. So wo afternoon break वैसे ही मिल जाता है, So, and Sundays are my weekly off. Though a lot of dentists work on Sundays, but I have strictly said no. Sundays are my day of going to the track. That's one day when I just switch myself completely off. And I, so my priorities are very set in place. When I'm in clinic, there's no, we don't stop in between. We just go full throttle. And when I'm back on track, I'm full throttle.
I remember I had visited one of the dental surgeon, and I actually had to take out all 4 of my wisdom teeth, and he did that together in one single day, in one sitting, and he was sweating like anything, with all those pressures and strength and pliers and whatnot, and then he was still continuing, and he was exhausted. So so whenever I so I know how exhaustive and how under the pressure, the dental surgeons
it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not
and for
easy.
me, especially standing and working, for all those hours I told you, I cannot sit and work. I have to stand and work. So for me, honestly, by the time in the evening I'm back home, I am super exhausted. And then and also I feel like patients have a lot of questions to ask everybody. What's a root canal? Why do you do it? Pain to nahi hoga, ye to nahi hoga, wo nahi hoga. Like, people are coming. Consultation session is all about questions. So you're bombarded with questions by every single person who's walking in. So it is not just your focus on your work or what you're doing, but it's also a focus on, just talking. So that becomes very exhausting after a certain point. So over a period of a week, I mean, of course, by Saturday, you're like, whew, let's just get out of here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what would be your mantra for racing, Neharika? How will you define it in one single line?
I would say life, passion. Those are I think for me, passion is my favorite word. I mean, I don't think I think this is one word I use so often. I just think passion sums up everything in life.
Right.
It sums up hard work, it sums up determination, it sums up love. So that one word is powerful enough to, actually sum up all these amazing adjectives into one word.
Right.
So if you ask me, like in one word, what is biking or racing to me, it is passion.
Awesome. And any dream ride or race that you would still like to do in your lifetime?
I would love to, though I've ridden in Italy and everything, I would love to go and explore the tracks there and, ride more often. That's what I would say.
Okay.
I'd love to go there and be a part of, the Italy racing circuit and just explore those aspects as well.
Wow. Okay.
That would be a dream come true for me. Yeah.
Amazing. So I think we have already reached towards the end of our talk show. Any parting words of wisdom, any advice for all the female racing aspirants, any mantra for them that you may want to give, and the mantra for maintaining the dental hygiene, of course.
For maintaining dental hygiene, please see Dr. N.
By default,
she will guide you. She will guide you in person.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and in terms of my message to women out there, I would say that just believe in yourself. If you have a dream, work towards it. I've always said that when you have a dream and you have a goal and you have a wish, when you are so passionate about it, you find people on your journey who will support you, who will push you, will motivate you. You will find the sources to help you out. You will find the right people who come on board with you to give you all that is needed to be on this journey.
Okay.
Today I feel like it's because of my dream or my passion or my will to really pursue something I love so much that I had Ducati come on board with me to support me. I had Alpine Star come and gift me leathers saying, listen, we support you on this journey. It is only because of this, because of the dream you have. It is that dream that helps you to really, give those energies out there I would say, to the universe that also understands that this person wants this so bad.
Okay.
And then it will come back to you. So believe in yourself. Whether you're riding with a group of people or whether you're coming on track, you will find the right people who will help you out. And don't be scared. Speak to your family if they don't agree on it. If you are passionate about it, speak to your family, and I'm sure they will understand. Connect them with people who also share the same, passion as you. Maybe they would inspire them to help you pursue what you want to. So yes, that's what I would say. And lastly, please remember one thing: whether you are on the road, whether you are on track, if you are on a bike, it is your responsibility to protect, not just yourself but also others. So be a responsible biker. And set a good example out there for people who feel that bikers are irresponsible. No, we are not irresponsible. We are a biking family, a culture, and we are going to set this culture in a very responsible way. So yes, that's what I would say.
Amazing. Neharika, sorry, dil mange more.
Please.
Okay, एक question और पूछना चाहूँगा. And since I myself being a biker, so maybe it's obviously one's own choice, but any suggestion which riding gear is best, maybe in terms of not just the riding gears and also the helmet? Which one do you suggest? Rather, maybe I'll ask which one is of your choice that you would suggest if somebody wants to go with.
So I basically, use an Alpine Star Stella, racing suit.
Okay.
So that is definitely one of my favorites. I was previously using a company called Held.
Okay.
That was, of course, that has supported me through all my races, and it's been an amazing suit, but it's not readily available in India. But all the racing suits, honestly, company-wise, I think Alpine Star is definitely number one for me.
Okay.
Definitely number one for me, Alpine Star. There's so much of research that's gone into, making those suits. They are worn by MotoGP racers.
Okay.
So there's a lot of R&D that's gone into these suits. So you can be confident and show that you will be protected. In the best way possible. In terms of helmets, I'm using an HJC helmet. And I always suggest using a snail certified helmet because they are very well tested. And I always say that, when you pick up a bike, your helmet is definitely one of the most important gears.
Yes.
So make sure you spend that money and pick up something which is definitely trustworthy and durable. Because in case of a crash, it is your crowning glory that needs to be protected the most. That is your main mechanism or your main system.
Absolutely.
So put in that money, no problem. Shell it out. You would rather shell out money into a good helmet than shell it out into hospital bills.
Obviously, जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि you can go and buy a different set of helmet. You can replace it, but you can't replace your head. I mean,
you can't replace your thing. Yeah. And I've seen a few bad crashes where I've seen people have walked out of those crashes without any head injuries, or I would say minimal head injuries, thanks to those helmets.
So you said it is SAG.
I won't go with any. I would not know.
helmet.
I would HJC is what I use.
Okay, HJC. Okay.
HJC, and before this, I was using an Arai helmet.
Okay.
Yeah,
and,
Arai.
And you said these are the snail-tested helmets.
Snail-tested, certified helmets.
And
as I told you,
are these available in India?
These are all available in India.
Okay.
In fact, what is good is now with the whole biking culture picking up, you can very easily get your size also. Earlier they had very specific sizes of helmets.
Okay.
Get yourself a good fitting helmet. The size is very important. It should be a nice snug fitting helmet, not something which is loose on your head. So make sure you do that. And as I said, I do not have any specific preference for any helmet brand or something. I would say just go by the snail certification and go for a good helmet. And rest, of course, when you go visit a store where people are dealing with this, they would be the best ones to let you know what would go with the kind of with the genre of biking you're doing.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what I would say.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay. Any words for this podcast channel that you would like to say?
Oh, yes. That's definitely a question I like to answer. I think this has been a very good experience. I'm always open to coming onto platforms or channels where I can share my story with people, where I can, inspire people, motivate people. So any platform which, any platform which gets me to speak about all these aspects that you've covered is something which is very close to my heart. And I also feel like today what I was noticing is that, you were very, very prepared with all the questions that you asked me. You knew about my accident, you know what my story. So the kind of preparation that went into, the pre-talk, I would say. I'm sure you've done a lot of R&D and you've done a lot of research. So that's fabulous and amazing. And you asked me exactly the questions that I would really want to communicate to the people watching this talk. All those questions. There's not a single thing out of all the questions that you've asked me that I would say, okay, there's one, this element is missing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much for that. That really means a lot.
It's been amazing being on this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Neharika, for sharing your life journey with us. And it was truly wonderful talking to you. And I'm sure this will definitely be an inspiration for all those female racers, who are aspirants of track racing and also being a doctor. So thank you so much, Neharika. And
thank you for having me on board.
Stay safe.
I wish you all the best.
Yeah. Thank you so much and take care and stay safe.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye now.
So that was Dr. Neharika Yadav, India's fastest female superbike track racer, who in spite of having 50% movement in her right hand, has learned to balance between her passion of superbike track racing and profession of being a dental surgeon. उनके इस जज्बे को Candid Talks with Bharat V का सलाम. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the podcast show Candid Talks with Bharat V. If you like the show, please do like, subscribe and share with others. If listening on Apple Podcast, do not forget to rate 5 stars. If on Spotify or YouTube, do not forget to subscribe and share. All the bikers can listen to this podcast episode on bikersclub.in. इसके साथ हम आज का सफ़र यहीं समाप्त करते हैं. बहुत जल्द मुलाकात होगी अगले शो पर एक नए टॉपिक के साथ, नए लोगों के साथ, नए अंदाज में. Only on Candid Talks with Bharat V podcast channel. Stay home, stay safe. This is Bharat Vatsa signing off for today. दुआ में याद रखना. जय हिंद.